Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Beyond the Ball podcast. It is your host Ian. Joining me as always is Justin. Jay White, how's it going? How was the weekend? We got two episodes this week, folks. We're recording on a Monday. How about that?
I was about to say happy Monday, Ian. Weekend was kind of a little chill weekend, kind of just stayed home a little bit, hung out with some family, watched some footy. Nothing super crazy. Just one of those relaxed weekends that you kind of enjoy.
Yeah. That is a nice weekend. It looked like you had a wedding though Friday night.
I did have a wedding Friday and I just completely forgot about that.
So really not the like you did something. Yeah, you went
That
to a wedding.
yeah,
That's a pretty
that
big
that
event.
that's why I was relaxed on a Saturday. No, had a wedding Friday. Uh Good time. It was actually at the place that me and my fiance are getting married next year.
Oh, okay. Checking
So
out
we
the
took
venue.
we took out the venue, we had a notepad, pros and cons of the whole thing. But now
Okay.
it was a good time. A couple of college buddies I used to play soccer with that I haven't got to see in a couple of years. It was
Nice.
nice to see them, but it was a good time.
Nice. That's
How
awesome.
was your
Yeah,
weekend, D?
it was good. I hit the grasshopper for the matches, or
I
at least for the
saw.
England match on Saturday. Grasshopper, best bar in Morristown. Went over there for the match. A great atmosphere. People were dancing, singing after the match. We had It's Coming Home. We had Wonderwall. Really just, it was fucking awesome. Like, really just an awesome scenes there. Unfortunately, they played like at 3 o'clock, so I can't see the next match live. But yeah, then caught the Argentina match, and then yesterday saw my buddy's softball game. Was a fan at a slow pitch softball game. Saw the Big Wayne, the bopper, Big Wayne Jennings hit didn't hit a long ball, hit one off the wall. But yeah, good weekend, productive, and watched a lot of footy. And we do have a lot to talk about in today's episode. Again, keeping it all World Cup focused, as we did have the quarterfinals that happened.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Thank you, Justin. So we will recap those. And then we have the semifinals that are kicking off tomorrow. They'll be happening tomorrow and Wednesday. So we will preview those and then we will wrap up with the Blues Corner. Justin, ready to rock and roll?
Yeah, Ian, before we get into these games, what do you
Okay.
think
Okay.
about them having these at 3 o'clock on a
I hate
Wednesday
it. I really fucking hate it.
Tuesday, Wednesday?
I really hate it. It must be because they're trying to appeal to a more global audience. And honestly, if we're being realistic, they're trying to appeal to a European audience because it would be 8 o'clock there. And if we look at it, I mean, all of the teams are in Europe, right? So it probably makes sense.
Yeah. Do you think they
Um,
would do the same if like the United States or a team over here was, or you think they'd say fuck us and just keep it at whatever time? It's just a question.
I really don't. Oh,
No,
Argentina. I'm sorry. Argentina is not a European team. Not a European team. Everything was
South
loading.
American.
They are, yes. Okay. Don't want to get called out for that. I don't know. I'm thinking the 3 o'clock though was to appease like
Every
everyone a little more because I think a 7 o'clock start on our end is the middle of the night for a lot of countries, obviously.
countries, yeah.
Right. Like I would love a 7 o'clock, even a 5 o'clock, but 5 o'clock if you're looking at Europe, and then just out uh you're looking at a globe further east, then we're talking like again, middle of the night,
Nah,
overnight.
yeah.
Whereas at least at 3 o'clock, you're gonna have maybe some more viewership. That's the only thing I could think of.
No, I get it. And again, it probably is all about viewership and getting those teams fans up and things like that.
Right. Absolutely.
Just sadly, I have to go in the office tomorrow, so I was like, oh, I'm not.
Oh,
I know I'm
gotta,
not. So
gotta
I'm
get one
like,
of those full-time remote jobs, bud.
not full time. It's like once a week in the office. This week it's twice.
Oh,
Hopefully I'm not supposed to go in Wednesday. It's supposed to be Tuesday and Thursday, but they're talking about Wednesday too. If I was to miss both of the games, I
wow.
would it would just hurt me.
That would be rough. That would be
But we'll
rough.
see. We'll see.
I'll see them all. I'll be right here with my TV turned. I'll see them all
Thanks.
in the comfort of my own
Thanks, Z.
home.
I'll have you on speed dial.
Awesome. All right. So the first match that we had with the quarterfinals was on Thursday the 9th. France, Morocco. France won this one 2-0. Goal by Mbappe in the 60th minute, a goal by Dembele in the 66th minute. And it could have been more, there was a missed penalty by Mbappe in the 28th minute. And that is a whole problem for me, how long that took for VAR
Exactly.
to
Yes.
clear that. And I feel like Morocco is playing a lot of those. Uh,
Little childish games,
yeah, a
mind
lot of
games. Yeah.
games. They were trying to play mind games. They came out late after the half, 3 minutes late. And I think that's when France got pissed off because I think in the second half, France decided to put their like foot on the throat and really beat them up. I think France was knocking in the first half, but yeah, I mean Morocco. If you look at the momentum map, if you look at it started basically in the 51st minute and then carried on to like the 70th minute, where France just kind of dominated the game, and that's where they had two of their
Yeah.
goals. And then they dominated the end part of the match. They didn't let Morocco in or any really possession after the 86th minute. Um, but yeah, I guess what are your thoughts on the match? I thought France dominated that pretty handily, to be honest.
France was 100% the better team. I thought them saving the PK, Morocco saving the PK, I thought the momentum may change a little bit just because
Mhm.
of how big of a save that was. But to me, it really didn't do much. I just think France, they're just deep everywhere.
They're so
Like
good.
they're they're making their defense look, and their defense is good. Don't get me wrong, but we never think of France as you look at those back four as four studs back there. But
Hmm.
that back line has been very good this tournament. I think they are tied with clean sheets now.
Wow.
They could be one behind Spain. Don't call me that, but they're right there. But it just seems like they can win however they want. They can dominate a weaker opponent. We've seen things like that. They can survive a difficult game. We've seen that. They can counterattack. They can defend a lead. They don't give up many dangerous scoring opportunities.
Yeah. And I think part of that, and I've said it in the past, and you tell me if you agree, but is it because they don't have to attack with as many players? They don't need to attack with six players to score. They can hold a midfielder and actually have five guys that are really kind of staying back.
I think that does play a factor in it. I also think that depends on the team that they are playing. Again, I think a Spain, what we'll talk about, that may be a little different,
Hmm.
but I definitely do think that plays a factor.
Because like when I watch England, right, they need everybody but two center backs up there. They need the right back and the left back to try to score a goal. So they're very susceptible to counters. But I just haven't seen that with France. They just look better in the back too. Like you're right. I mean, I think much better than I think people give them credit for. And then they will be playing tomorrow, correct?
Yes, that is tomorrow.
Yes, they will be playing. My gosh, my brain is mush today.
Spain at three
Spain
o'clock.
tomorrow, 3 o'clock. Good, good. And the next
How did
match we will be talking about, yeah, the brain's mush right now. Sorry.
how
We
did
have
you feel about Morocco's performance though?
pitiful.
Pitiful.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad,
How
and then
about for
just
a
like the
standard
shit
for
that.
the entire year again?
What's that?
Similar of what you expected from them this entire year, their run. Because obviously in 2022 they lost to France in the semifinals, and now in 2026 again they lost to France once
I
again in the
think once you
quarters.
run into quarterfinal, I think once you run into France, not the quarterfinals, once you run into France is it's kind of a buzzsaw for anybody. But I just think the way that they showed up, like if they were to lose 2-1 or 1-0 and I think a more closely contested match, I would have been like, okay, fair play. But I think that France dominated them. And then I
Yes.
think all the time wasting things that they were doing, I think around the penalty, and I think again coming out of the half 3 minutes late, I don't know how that's not a card for somebody. I bet on the over in the cards, by the way. There was only one, so that really pissed me off. But I just think they lacked a lot of energy. It almost looked like they knew France were going to beat them and that they were going to be walked all over. They just
Because
didn't. They didn't seem confident. Didn't look
I
good.
was gonna say no one really stood out for me on
No, not
Morocco
one
either. Like
person looked like they wanted to.
Diaz has been very quiet this entire tournament. I'll get into him more on Thursday with our next episode. And same thing with Hakimi. We all know Hakimi needs to stand out. I didn't think Hakimi had the. I don't know if he didn't have the greatest game or France just takes these big players out of the game just because of how much possession they have and how much of the game they're attacking.
Well, I think that, and then with Hakimi, like it's really tough if you're Morocco if you're relying on scoring coming from your right back. That's not somebody that's going to be leading like in the front of the attack. So especially with him, I feel like France can really silence him because he also has to play defense against one of the top wingers in the world, right? Like so that I think is really tough for him. So I mean Morocco, if they're only if one of their best scoring options is your one of your right or left back, that's not
Right backs,
ideal.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's not
makes
ideal,
sense.
right? So yeah, see you later, Morocco. Friday we had Spain versus Belgium. This was a good one. This was a sneaky good one. Spain 2, Belgium 1. We had a goal by Ruiz in the 30th minute. Then De Ketelare did square things up with a header in the 41st minute. And then we went all the way to
To the
the
88th.
88th minute, where Mikel Merino again popped up with a winning goal for Spain. Justin, what are your thoughts on this match?
A shock, to be honest.
Mm,
I know you had Belgium winning this game.
I did.
You did, if you forgot.
I
But
probably forgot. Yeah.
I didn't think Belgium was going to have this fight in them against Spain.
Yeah.
And I know I've been the one critical against Spain the entire World Cup, saying they still haven't looked the greatest, and I don't think they even look the greatest here still.
Nope.
But I just think as the game went on, I think Belgium started to get more exhausted here. You saw KDB looked exhausted in midfield. You obviously had Noah Nana from that torn ACL from last game. You had Courtois who went down with that injury, and they brought in Lamine from Manchester United, and he obviously made that critical error that led to that Marino goal.
Mm.
But gonna give Belgium credit here, just because of the fight and the players that they have on that team, and we know that that generation's gone now. They're gonna go into a full new generation in the 2030 World Cup. But regarding Spain, they continue to fight and stay patient and find ways to win in these knockout stages. But something that's still concerning to me is Lamine Yamal again is nowhere near
Glad you
the
said that.
guys he's supposed to be. And
I have his stats up right now.
I know on Footmob he did win Player of the Game with a
Yeah.
7.7,
I,
but
I
he's
don't know what they
still.
watched.
If you look at his stats in the World Cup, and again
I'm
we all
looking
know
at
stats
him
aren't
right
everything,
now. I'll
he
run
has
right through
he
him.
has one assist I think in the World Cup.
Nope, nope. Hold on, hold on. I got him right up in front of me because I was just gonna piggyback off everything you were saying that Spain didn't look good with Lamine Yamal stats. 23 shots, one goal, no assists.
He's got no
Only
assists, no assists for some.
83.4% of his passes have been successful. That puts him at 50% of the players in the World Cup. Chances created, 5. That puts him at 66th percentile. Successful crosses, 20%. That puts him at 54th percentile. Successful dribbles, 52%. That puts him at 67th percentile. Duels won, 47%. So, he ain't playing well.
No, not at all.
He ain't playing well. So, I don't know if it's an injury or what it is, but he is not playing well at all. They're lucky that they're at where they're at, I think. We'll get into more about the next round in
Yeah.
our predictions, but I already bet against. I mean, I bet against them. I predicted against them. I did lose, but Belgium looked damn good. I think Belgium looked damn good, and I think if Belgium gave them that much of a test, let's see what the
They need to wake up, yeah, against
yeah. I
France
mean,
because
France is a totally different animal, like totally different. But yeah,
and the thing I look at too is like that back line of Spain hasn't got tested that much this tournament. Belgium did an okay job testing them, but when we get into this France game, that back four is going to be tested
right. Because like
a
really,
lot
if you
more.
look at it, who has Spain really played? I mean, they did play Portugal. Played Uruguay, who didn't really score at all.
Uruguay was off those tournaments.
Austria,
No,
Saudi Arabia.
no, it hasn't been
I mean,
anyone.
really, Portugal, very, I mean, we both had them to win the World Cup, but if you looked at this Portuguese side compared to years in the past, they looked horrible,
Yes,
right? So if you look at that, then Spain really hasn't played anybody who's been out there scoring. Well, Belgium has, but
yes, but no,
it's Belgium.
it was a lot closer of a game than I thought it was going to be. And even if the game did go to extra time, I still think Spain was going to find a way just because of how Belgium just looked. Like again, they
Hmm.
were dead on the field. And again, when you lose,
Yeah.
when KDB goes out, and then you lose your starting goalkeeper, who's a real leader, it hurts you because there's not after you take those two out, you have no leadership on that team.
And not any, and it's just not just any starting goalkeeper. It's Thibaut Courtois, right? It's
Exactly, one of the
one of
best
the
in the
top
world.
goalkeepers in the world. If he has that ball shot at him, he's saving that.
Oh yes,
Right.
100%.
And we're in extra time, but yeah, Spain do move on. Belgium, let's see if they can make a run again. Let's see if there's a younger talent that can come up. I mean, De Ketelaere did show up pretty well this World Cup. You do have Doku, so maybe there is something there. Am I missing
Well,
somebody there out of the?
you have Trossard still in the wing, but obviously he's
Well,
not
I'm
super
saying
young.
about like young
Yeah.
players in that Belgium roster. De
Like
Ketelaere,
attack I'm thinking like attacking options. I think those are the two youngest.
the only two, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see if they can build off that or if they have somebody that, comes through the ranks. Then we get into Saturday, and these were two really, really good matches, both going into added extra time. The first one, Norway versus England, and then this was just incredible, incredible scenes. We had a Norway goal in the 36th minute by Andreas Slaughter, and I don't know if it was a cross or a direct shot. If it was a direct shot, good for him, but it found the corner of the net anyway. Kind of a banger. I mean,
It
it was
was a
just from
banger.
a ridiculous angle. It did look like it was kind of across the Holland who was going to the back post, but it went in regardless. If yeah, if our keeper had longer arms,
I
then
didn't think it went in because the way they celebrated that goal, it was like no one was really celebrating.
right. It was so quiet. That is one of the things I've noticed with this World Cup. It might be the angles, but I'm getting like fooled a lot if the ball goes
Could
in
be,
or not. You
yeah.
notice that? I think it's because of like where the height of the cameras and stuff. But anyway, then we had a Jude Bellingham goal, 45 in the 45th minute, plus 2 minutes of added extra or plus extra time, assisted by Anthony Gordon. Goal ruled out in the 55th minute by VAR by Hegem, kept it even. Then we went to added extra time. A penalty was canceled in the 99th minute. And then there was a goal before that, I'm sorry, by Jude Bellingham in the 93rd minute. And England move on 2-1. Happy days. It was a long match. I was just scrolling through everything that was happening on FOTMob. I'm like, okay, goal ruled out because there's just so many different things I think that happened in that match. It was chippy. There was VAR, two different times for penalties. I don't know about either of the second. I think that yeah. Anyway, what you tell me what you know what I'm going to tell you about what I think first.
The
I
first one
think
with Norway, if that was Arsenal, it's a PK.
okay,
That's
it's
all I'm
not
saying.
Arsenal, bud.
I know, but no, I think it was a deliberate two-hand push, and I think he did sell it a little bit, but it did look like he wasn't playing the ball. It was directly with two hands. I probably would have called the foul there as well.
Yeah. What about the Jed Spence one?
That one's hard to like think about and look at because Spence makes that great run, makes that
Mhm.
amazing run. He gets himself in front of the defender, which causes the contact.
Right.
So, in my opinion, the defender's already coming in, but Spence is smart enough to get his body in front of the defender, which causes the foul,
That's what
which to
that's
me is a penalty kick.
that's where I sit on it. But then there was a loudmouth at the bar. He was saying how it was illegal. You have to give the defender a chance at the ball. I'm like, but he beat past him. Why doesn't he get to block him off? Apparently, that's the stipulation in the rules. You can't block someone off, I guess, and that's why it wasn't a penalty kick. Is that the
Was that just added this week?
dude? I'm telling the guy at Hopper
No,
was
I
like
believe you.
yelling about this rule, and he was insulting anybody wearing an England jersey. Also, he was not happy about it. But I was just very confused. I don't know why it wasn't a penalty, and we couldn't hear the volume at the bar, so I didn't hear what the referee said. Did he give an explanation, or what did he
It was
say?
basically kind of what I said.
He
That
got in front of him, and
the defender was already coming through the ball as
no, he wasn't.
the attacker stepped in front of him.
But he
He's going.
wasn't.
I don't just telling you what I heard. It's
We
contact
watched it. Like that didn't happen. Okay, well, I guess I'm
contact came.
glad I didn't hear it in real time because I probably would have just screamed and
Yeah.
freaked out at the bar. I guess now I'm a little more calm, but that's odd because anyway, whatever. But what did you think of the match overall? I think early on, England had all of, a lot of possession. I think they almost looked better. And then in the second half, it really looked like Norway was the team I thought that was destined to score. I thought they had more dangerous opportunities. I think otherwise it was pretty even. I mean, as far as total shots go, England had one more touches in, opposition box, three more by England, but it was pretty even throughout. I mean, Norway, they showed up through this World Cup and their fans were great. And I think it was, as much as I do love England and seeing them win, I do think it is a bit sad because I thought they played really, really well.
No, yeah. For Norway, again, great tournament for them.
Yeah.
Obviously, they've been one of the most loved fans in America, so it is sad to see them go. But they proved this World Cup too, even though the amount of goals Holland had, and I don't think he showed up against in the game in England. I don't know
Mhm.
if that's giving England a lot of credit, how they defended him, or just how he was. I know he did leave the game. I don't know if he
I
was
think
exhausted or he picked up a knock. They really haven't confirmed that yet.
I'm gonna be honest. I think a lot of him being neutralized had to do with him playing against Mark Gay, John Stones, and Nico O'Reilly at the back, who he
Yeah,
trains against every week.
that is true.
They know every trick in the book. Pickford's, played defense. I think that has a lot to do with it. They all play in the Premier League against him. They know every trick in the book. How many things has he said in the City locker room, like, "Oh, I'm going to do this in this situation,"
And
and
they
they're sitting
remember
there
and they
like,
know it.
"All
Yeah.
right, bud," and especially John Stones, a guy who's been around there a while, veteran. Like, I'm not shocked that they were able to neutralize him.
No, yeah, but for Norway's good. Like a lot of young talent, like you said before. Shutter, Shutter up, however you sounds in.
I have no idea.
Great young player for them. You've talked about their midfield.
Yeah.
They'll be back. They'll be back in
I think they'll be
20,000.
back,
They'll be back in 2030. Don't worry about them. For
and I think they'll be
England,
better.
I think they should be better too. I think for England, I think better of a game, but I still think they're not comfortable the entire game. Again, they fell behind again.
Yeah, I
I don't
agree.
know how many games in a row they fell behind. Uh, but who have I been saying is the most important player for England?
It's got to be Jude.
It's Jude, and I've been saying this. I know how good Harry Kane is, but Bellingham's been showing up this entire tournament. He's now in the Golden Boot race with 6 goals. It's back-to-back games with 2 goals. But he's an important player for you guys. But England, I just think they're making these matches so difficult on themselves for no reason, I feel like. And that's just my opinion.
I think it's because they're not that good. Like I think not that they're not that good, but I think there's a lot of hype around like big names, right? Rashford, Gordon, Saka. Like these players, they don't really produce. They haven't really produced in the last few years. So is it that they're making it hard for themselves, or is it maybe that we're over believing what they can do from an
So
offensive
yeah.
standpoint? Does
What
that
did
make
you
sense?
I get what you're saying. What did you think about the Tuchel uh
I
conference?
can't. He's just got to shut the fuck up. Like I'm
The
so,
whole mentality thing
dude.
that we weren't
He's
good
the
enough, but our
worst.
mentality is carrying us through this
I
tournament.
hope he gets fired tomorrow. Like
Even
he doesn't shut the fuck up. I just don't get it. Just shut the fuck up. Great win. We'll get him, onto the semifinals we go. That's it.
Yeah, because
That's
Bellingham
it.
wasn't happy with it, I heard.
Yeah, no. And then he got into something, and now that's the story that's being generated across England. Whereas the story should be that they're playing Argentina in the semifinals. How could they play? But no, like that's what the story is. It's just shut the fuck up. Like he doesn't shut up. He just does it. Oh man, he's done it all the time. And I said that this was going to bite him in the ass. Like I knew something stupid was going to come out, and he did it. But anyway, because again, that's where the questions are going to be directed. That's where everything's going to go. It's stupid.
No, yeah.
Why can't they
Oh,
just
yeah.
take the Bill Belichick approach
Yeah. I didn't know if that
on to
was
Miami, on to Pittsburgh? I don't
I
know.
didn't I didn't know if that was him just speaking the truth, if that was him wanting to get his players like more pumped up for the next game, saying we can't play like this against Argentina. Well, it would have been Argentina or Switzerland at the time, but I think yeah, I don't think it was the right time. I think maybe if you did that during the group stages, I think it's a little different. But knowing you're going into a semifinal match now, how are your players going to react to that?
Yeah,
So we'll
does it
see.
matter how you win at this point, or does it matter that you win?
No, a win is a win.
Right,
Everybody
exactly.
knows
It's
that.
we're at semifinal time. It doesn't matter how they win. It doesn't matter if they win with 9 men on the field, like kicking the back of shins next match, right? Doesn't matter if they have to like take Messi off the field by like injuring him. It's about getting to the World Cup
It's about
final
getting a win. Yep.
and then cleating Mbappe in behind in the World Cup final and then winning that way as well. That's how we're gonna do it. Neutralize the opponent's best players. Oh boy. And then that will bring us to our last match. I'm sure you got a lot to talk about on this one about Messi. I did fall asleep before the second half started, I'm not going to lie. So I did not see a lot of the stuff that happened later on. But it was a 3-1 win for Argentina over Switzerland. There was a red card for Switzerland at the 72nd minute. Argentina's with goals in the 10th minute by McAllister, in the 112th minute of added extra time by Alvarez, and then in the 120th, plus one extra minute by Lautaro Martinez. And Switzerland had a goal in the 67th minute, which is how they even got there. Justin, do you want to talk about this match? You probably watched this more closely than I did.
No, I did. Again, more of what Argentina does, dominating the game most of the time, controlling the tempo of the game. But Switzerland did force them into kind of an uncomfortable match. And we talked about that defensive structure of Switzerland, who I actually thought had a great game plan going into this game. And obviously, first 10 minutes, they get that corner kick from Messi to McAllister that gets a header on. And you think that would have to switch Switzerland's game plan up a little bit, but Switzerland continued to defend. They hit him on that counter attack, had a very nice goal on the counter attack, beat Martinez far post from Nadoy. And then when Argentina is talked about, there's always a situation. And this just isn't me. It's every game Argentina, there's something involved.
I, it's becoming a lot.
I know.
I have to admit, I
It's
really
starting to
have
become
to admit
annoying.
it's becoming a lot. I try to look at, and people bring this up. I try to look at it all with kind of a blind eye and just try to focus on the matches. I try not to focus on a lot of the outside the match stuff, but and like the conspiracy theories around it. But I don't know. It's becoming like every time Argentina has something against their favor, it's always in their favor.
I'm glad you said that. But now,
It's becoming pretty evident too. Like
now
it's
this is where if that red card doesn't happen, this game goes anyway. Once that red card happened, I knew Argentina was going to find a game winner, which I'll talk about in a second. But I get the call, but I don't get the call. The ref messed up from the call on the field, and then VAR had to call him over to basically fix his mistake, which led to giving him a red card. Now, to me, is diving, I guess in the rule book, diving is a yellow card, they say. I
is
just think
there?
I think there is, yeah. I just find it very harsh how you have a guy on a yellow card
And then he's
and
sent off
then he
because of a
send off
diving yellow.
and a dive. If he's diving in the box for a penalty kick, I would completely understand that. Completely
Yeah.
understand because that's him. It's in the middle of the field. There's no harm done. He dives. That's it. It's Argentina free kick. You just do that. But I think it wasn't needed. I just think it ruined the entire game. And then after that, you just have Switzerland fighting for their life, sitting back, playing with 10 men for what they end up doing it for.
50-ish,
50,
over 50
50,
minutes, probably almost
50,
six, probably 60
50
minutes with all like the injury time. Is that for
injury
sure?
time. Yeah. And they did it in the rest of extra time. They did a good job. And then obviously you had Julian Alvarez hit that beautiful shot.
Yeah.
Uh, Bounced up right to him, upper right corner. But again, I'm gonna give Switzerland credit because they did really deserve credit for this game and they really tested Argentina. But Argentina just keep finding ways to win, man. It's crazy. And this one wasn't from Messi. Obviously, Messi had that assist in the for the corner for McAllister, but they're finding ways to win, and it's just so annoying
It,
because they're coming back, and it's always like late too.
yeah. I mean, I think it's just they're deep as well. I think they're a little bit slept on, and I don't think we even talk about them enough But like the rest of that squad is really deep. They do have talent everywhere. Lautaro Martinez, Alvarez are two great goal scorers. So it is just more than Messi there. And I don't know, man. There's just so much shit going on with them that's not soccer related. It just feels like they're just going to win everything because something's going to go in their favor.
Yeah,
That's how I stand on it. I think
I
Messi's
agree.
great, but I feel like a lot of these decisions are now somehow just always going to them. And
I'm
they're all,
glad you're finally rowing the boat over to me.
it's really hard to like not, it's hard to watch and then not think that
Think
Argentina's
about
going
it.
to
Yes,
win because it's happened almost every fucking match.
I know. They're
Every
the
time
only
they're like going down, like something happens where it puts them right back in a better position.
they're the only team. I saw it on Instagram. I don't remember like the only team not to have a call go against them in VAR out of every
It's
team
giving
in the
like
World Cup
Chiefs
or
Super Bowl
something.
vibes. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Like when the Chiefs
yes.
keep winning Super Bowls and they're winning every pass interference penalty, you're like, all right. Like enough of you. Like get the fuck out of here. I don't care how likable everybody is. I'm done. You won enough. It's kind of how I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there.
I'm getting there. I feel you.
I will have a meltdown Wednesday if it happens against England. I'll see it firsthand. I will have a absolute like episode. I'll check myself in somewhere. Yeah, I'll have a meltdown. But anyway, Justin, anything else you got on the recap of these quarters?
No,
All right, beautiful. Let's get right into the semifinals then. Again, like we said, starting tomorrow, and we got France, we got Spain, 3 o'clock matches being played in Dallas Stadium. So it's not going to rain on anybody. There's not going to be any delays, no bullshit. And honestly, I don't know where you're leaning here, but I'm going with France. And I think it's because how much they can attack. I think it's because we just saw the whole kind of really great defense in Morocco stop a really great attack. Well, no, they can't. Like France kind of manhandled Morocco. I don't think they'll manhandle Spain. I do think Spain is obviously a much better team than Morocco, but Spain just does not have the scoring capability, I think, to keep up with
yes.
France. Spain's going to need to score 3 goals because I know France, as good as Spain's defense is, they're going to be able to find a way to score two. Like Spain's defense isn't impregnable. It's not the best defense in the world. You got Pedro Porro on the right side, who again was on Tottenham, Cucurella, Laporte. Like these aren't they're good.
But they're not
Pedri,
great.
Rodri, they're
Yes.
good and they all play very well as a group, but they're not great. They're not exceptional. We're not talking Maldini in the Italian defense in 94, right? Like it's not that. So I see France winning. I'm going to say 3-1. I think
Okay.
it's 2-1 and it's tight. And then I think Spain has to press and try to get that goal. I think they hit him on the counter. I think I don't think it's as an open as a game as I think it might be. I don't think it's going to be like a track back and forth, but I think it'll be tight. I think it'll be a little bit tightly contested as well, maybe even a little chippy, but I see France 3-1.
I have France. I kind of agree with a couple of things you said. Obviously, we know this is France's third straight semifinal, which is kind of crazy to think about it. But I kind of look at it as like how the two teams are going to play. France is going to be fast. They're going to have individual power. You're going to know Spain is going to want to control, hold the ball, and keep possession, which
Mhm.
France doesn't. They'll keep possession, but they want to go go go.
Right.
Spain's going to want to keep possession, and they're going to want Mbappe. They're going to want Dembele, Olise, Dewey, Barcola, whoever it is. They're going to want them to defend and just tire them out. Because, like you said, those four usually don't. Elise usually does defend. Those other ones don't really have to defend. They're just kind of, hey, we can stay up here. We can let the rest of the team do everything. So I'm looking at it when Spain has the ball, they need to be careful in possession because if they lose in a very dangerous area, we know how quick that counterattack, how lethal that attack could be going to goal. And then I'm also thinking when they dominate the ball, can they not leave enough space for France again to destroy them? Because, like you said, all it takes is one attack for Spain, and they can score on you.
That's the thing with France too, though. Like you don't even need to leave them space. Like you don't need to give Mbappe space. He could be standing right next to a defender and they just eye it up. Olise sends him. That's why I think France is so dangerous. I don't think any other team in the world has someone like that right now. Who has that then breakaway speed that no
No,
one's going to catch
yeah.
him because he's
And it's all four of
fastest.
them. They're all fast as
Yeah,
hell.
like and that, I just don't like. How do you stop that? Like, how do you stop that when all of them can do it?
Do it.
It's not one or two. It's all of them running at you, and you're like, oh fuck.
No,
And
I
again, it's
agree.
like Cucurella and Pedro Porro. They're not fucking. It's Pedro fucking Porro who was on
And
Tottenham.
that's something I'm thinking of Dembele and Dewey going at the wingers. They're going to be exhausted. They're going to be going at them all game.
Right.
I don't know. It should be interesting. And I have this might be a little bit of a shock. I have France winning 4-1.
Okay. So
A
yeah,
lot.
France
It's a
just kind
lot.
of blowing them out.
It's a lot of goals for France. I know that. And again, give credit a little bit to Spain's defense, but I just think this Spain defense isn't going to be able to hold back this French attack.
That's fair. I mean,
It's
nobody
it's a
has been
lot of
able to.
goals. Four is a lot of goals.
It is. It's a lot of goals, but I could see three, maybe four. Hey, who knows? I don't think Spain can stop France. I think that's just the bottom line, and they're gonna. If it's gonna be three, it's gonna be four. I think it's gonna be a France win, though. I think we're both
Yeah.
in agreement there.
Because if France scores two goals in the first half and Spain has to open up and Spain can't play this, oh, let's just hold on the ball for
Right.
5 minutes of possession, they're done. They're in trouble.
Exactly. They need
And
to. Yeah. They
and
need to
who's
score
this?
first. If they don't score
Yes.
first, then it should be France's game
And who's it
easy.
going to come down to? Who needs to have a good game for Spain? Lamine Yamal.
I think
He
he's going to
he
be
he needs to
neutralized.
have his bet. He needs to have one of his best games of his life if he wants to give Spain a chance to win here.
I don't see it. He hasn't shown one glimpse of it this World Cup. He really hasn't shown being himself in quite some time. Probably not since like the fall or the winter, honestly.
Hmm.
Honestly, man, I think Cucurella it fucked him up. I think that's been it. Was Cucurella just like his vice? He hasn't done shit this season. Ran into Cucurella
No.
in November. Maybe that was it. Cucurella's been his kryptonite. I don't know. I'm reaching. Anyway, Wednesday's our next semifinal, and we got England, we got Argentina. It's 3 o'clock. It's in Atlanta. Again, closed dome stadium. Not too hot. Not this. Not that. Not the other thing. So, where do I stand on
Yeah,
this?
I was about to say.
I think and I was against England last round as much as I wanted them to win. Obviously, I went with Norway. I am going to go with England in this match. And I think it's because they are riding on such a high. And I do think that the way that they play defense, how they kind of set up shop um, with Declan Rice and with Elliot Anderson, that they can neutralize Messi. They have two very good holding defenders there that can do that. And if they start Gordon on the left, I know he will come back to support. And you do have Jude who can play that box to box role. So I do think they have a very good chance at neutralizing Messi and neutralizing the center part of the field for Argentina, doing all of that. And then I think it comes down to attacking the flanks because I don't think Argentina has speed. And again, if we're starting, oh God, if we're starting fucking Madueke, I'm gonna have a heart attack, but I think we will. But if you're starting him and Gordon, they will be able to beat their men down the field. And then at that point, it's getting Jude into the box. He needs to be working box to box tomorrow. And if he does work box to box tomorrow, like he very often does for Real Madrid in his best matches, I think that will win it for Argentina. They need to be able to neutralize Messi on the front by having another, shadowing midfielder, or even if Gordon drops back or Bellingham or something. And then they need to be able to attack the flanks and then feed Bellingham coming late into the box or get it into Kane.
Do you think focusing too much on Messi will disrupt their game? Especially like a
No, no, because I don't.
Bellingham player. I think Bellingham
No,
just got to play his game.
yeah, I think he'll play his game. I just think that Messi will be double shadowed again. It could just be Elliot Anderson and O'Reilly. Um, Yeah, I don't think they'll over focus on him because if I look at the rest of Argentina, I'm not really too worried about anybody beating us on Argentina. I know that Switzerland was beaten by other players than Messi, but I think England across the board is better than Switzerland at those specific positions to neutralize those players.
No, that's fair.
So I
Yeah,
got England, and give me 2-1.
2-1.
apparently, I don't know if this is 100% accurate, but apparently this is Messi's first match as an Argentina player against England.
I think I did see something like that.
Yeah, don't quote me on it, but I do believe.
I'm looking at it again. Both teams coming off extra time wins. Obviously, fitness here is going to be a factor. Obviously, again, you're starting to see how not the frustration, but the mental breakdown of Messi. You can just see how exhausted he is out there pushing
Yeah.
it through. The thing with this Declan Rice play, Declan Rice did not. He's not healthy at all. Does he start next game? Obviously, he got pulled off at halftime. That's a big thing to me. Like you said, I think both teams have very weak outside backs, and I think that's where a lot of this game can be won.
Mhm.
And I don't think England's outside wingers have been great. And obviously, we know that Argentina doesn't play with any outside backs. They play that diamond shape in the middle,
Mhm.
which will be a factor. But I just see chaos in this game, if I'm being honest. It's kind of what I see, and I think England has that attacking threat, but Argentina has that control and experience. England have shown they can survive chaos. We've seen it the entire tournament, and Argentina have shown they know how to manage pressure and win games. But I think the faster the game goes, I think it's gonna have an advantage for England, just because how much faster they like to play, and like I said before, well, not exactly, but the wingers and Madueke, Saka, Gordon, there's so much. They're fast. We know they have
Yeah.
speed, but can they take advantage of that and produce something from it? If it's getting across the 6 yard box, if it's cutting it back to Bellingham or Kane or whoever it is. But I think that's where the game's going to be won. And Bellingham and Kane are going to have to show up for this game again. I know I continue to say it, especially this is a game I think Kane needs to win. I mean, Kane needs to show up because I think he's been a little quiet the last two games. But
Yeah,
Ian,
I
if
agree
there's
with that. He has been a little bit quiet the last two games, and I think they're gonna need more than just Jude to show up on offense. I do agree there.
does FIFA help out Argentina in this game?
Against England, it's tough. It's tough to go against England like that if you're FIFA.
I know. I have England winning 3-1.
3-1.
3-1 here.
3-1 for the Three Lions.
3-1 here. England gets the first goal.
Three
1
lines on a
1
shirt.
1-0 going into
Jewel from
halftime.
it still gleaming.
England gets a second one. Uh,
30 years of hurt.
And then
Never
Argentina. Okay.
stop my dreaming.
We're gonna have to cut that because no one wants to hear your voice.
You writing something vigorously down? You look like you're writing something.
No, I was just typing real quick.
Who are you typing?
Something.
Oh boy. Okay, so that is it for the semifinals. Anything else that you got on these matches, Jay?
No, games both should be great. FIFA, screw you for making them 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
But
At
I
least
hope we
do.
see. I hope we see some good games. I hope they're not. Well, for you, you wouldn't mind a 4-0 England ass whooping. Obviously, I'm hoping. Well, I guess tomorrow's game doesn't matter because I work, so it doesn't make a difference for me. But I hope the game Wednesday. I hope it's a good game, and I hope there's no controversy in either of these games. That's probably my biggest point of this.
Yeah, I really hope
I
that.
don't want something to mess up this entire game. Either of these games. If that's the one thing I can say.
I agree with that. Just don't fuck it up. I agree. All right. Now we have everyone's favorite time of the week, the Blues Corner. The Blues Corner, Jay. Jay, what do you want to talk about in the Blues Corner today?
We're going to talk about one of the best Chelsea players ever to come to the club. Alejandro Garnacho. It has been reported that he will no longer be part of the Chelsea project. Round of applause. Round of applause.
Yeah, it couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
Now, what I am looking at now is we bought him for 40 million from obviously Manchester United where he came in.
Correct.
I have two questions. He's not going to be part of the project.
No.
Now, we've seen situations like this that even though they're not part of the project, they're still stuck on the team and they're basically a problem for the locker room, training and stuff like that. We saw that with Raheem Sterling like a year ago. Remember that whole situation?
Yeah, yeah.
We've seen that, and Alejandro Garnacho does give vibes of being someone like that. But if we do end up selling him, which I hope we do, and supposedly it is reported there is clubs that are interested in him. God bless you, whatever clubs you are.
I didn't. Well, he's young enough, man. I don't know.
I know.
He
He's
just doesn't
just
belong in the Prem. It's too the competition at the level's too hard for him. He needs to.
yeah. Do you think because he's 43 games for us, 8 goals, 4 assists. Only had 1 goal in the Premier League. We're looking to sell him
That
for
is too hard.
42.5 to 43 million. Basically making a $3 million profit. A profit on him I'll take. Do you think we end up selling him more than that 40 million? Do you think there's a club out there that wants him for that much?
No,
No. So
I
you
think
think what
40 is like a reach.
thanks reach? What do you think his reasonable price tag would be then? If we're being honest here.
25 million.
25 million.
Well, no, he's so young though. That's the thing. He is young and he's fast and he plays on the left side. He sucks at all of those things, but uh, and I would say like 35 to 40. I think is a pretty fair assessment.
I
I
th-
don't think that's far off. The market's inflated as is.
I think if we get anything from 30 to 40 million, it's a win.
Yeah, because you already have like what we got him for 40. He played a year, so I guess in theory you do have like I don't know how all those things work, right? You get because you had a year from him. I don't know. Anyway, the value does, you know what I mean? You get value. Like you don't lose value by if we let him go at the same price, we still gained value because we had him for a year. Does that make sense?
That makes better sense.
Because we actually had him play, we had net neutral, but because we had him for a year and he played, it was quote unquote value. I
Yeah,
think that's how they evaluate those things on the books. But yeah, I think if we can get anything for him, a fucking
absolutely. I think we're gonna
bag of
take whatever
chips,
we're gonna take whatever
anything
we're gonna
really
take
fucking
whatever we
stinks.
get. I
Yeah,
am
he's
interested to see what teams are interested in him though.
it's got to be a Serie A team, Serie A
You think
side. I could see
Syria,
La Liga.
something like that?
Yeah, but not like a good side.
No,
Like I
I don't
can't see him
expect him to
going
go to
anywhere
like a
good.
no, I don't expect him to go to like an AC Milan or an
Honestly, I could see him going to AC Milan.
oh, okay. Well, it's the one team I pick up and
Well, no, I mean, who else plays on the left side? I feel like that kind of fits their personality and their persona. They like fast wingers.
that is true.
They like fast wingers who like to do stuff with the ball. Like you got Rafael Leao, who looks like he wants to leave anyway, right? Or he's been
Yeah,
talking about leaving.
yeah, I think he does want to leave.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's a stretch, but maybe he ends up in Syria. You know what? That's I'm going to say Syria is his landing spot. He fits a Syria. Well, no, he doesn't play defense.
Who knows? We'll
Yeah,
find out.
he's going to go back to Man U. Imagine.
No, he's definitely not go back to Man U. I don't think Man
I
U
could also
fans would
see
want
us
him.
just fucking ending up like having to loan him out or some shit. No, I think we sell him, man. I think we sell him.
Supposedly they said it's a permanent transfer
I don't
only,
think
nothing
Zabi.
else.
I don't think Zabi Alonso wants the shit. You know what I mean? I think it's
No,
his
absolutely
side
not.
now, and you saw that with Real Madrid. He didn't want the bullshit, so I think he's going to cut the fluff. So let's hope he does it. And then I'm going to talk about apparently as much as Alejandro Garnacho is out of the project, our boy Nico Jackson is into the project, baby. Nico's back. I think Nico starts.
I'm trying to put the formation together, and
Actually, you know what? I don't think he starts. I take that away.
I was about to say because you'll have Palmer on one side, you'll probably have Esteval on the other side as long as he can finally stay healthy. Ja Pedro, I'm assuming up top,
So we're not bringing anybody in.
and then that's going to start. Not that it looks like right now. And then you'll probably have
Fucking
Enzo
hell.
behind Joe Pedro. Just the way everything looks right now. Unless we do sell Enzo, and you obviously put Joe Pedro at that 10, which we know he can play. Which I actually think he's better at that position. And then you play Nicholas Jackson up top. But again, I think it's all going to depend on what Chelsea does in the transfer market.
I'm also interested to see what formation they run out there. You think with Alonso, he'll run with three at the back? 3-5.
Again, I'm trying to think of like our center backs aren't great.
They're not, but he likes the three at the back.
I know. It's gonna change before going into the season. Again, who we bring in, how they look in this preseason tour that they're going. I think it's Australia they're going to or wherever it
Yeah,
is.
they
That's
play somewhat soon.
yeah, it's like the 28th or something.
Yeah, I was seeing that.
But
They
yeah,
if they play a 3-4-2-1, that would be interesting. Or a three
oh,
four one two. Palmer, and then up top you got Nico and João Pedro, and then Caicedo, Enzo in the middle. Then you got
again,
Reese running up and down with Hato.
I think Hato. No, he
Nah.
loves Hato. Sabi likes Hato.
Yeah, but that's not enough offense if we got those two just running up and
No.
down, and then you got three center backs.
It's gonna depend on who we bring in, but do I like the Nicholas Jackson signing? Yes,
Well,
if
it's not
we're
a
not,
signing, it's just a
well, bringing back, sorry.
yeah.
Yes, if we're not signing anybody else. If we're going to sign another number nine who's gonna produce more than him, then I'm against it because
What's the
what
point?
was is gonna come off the bench. And it's not like we're in Champions League this year, so it's less games played anyway.
Hmm.
But he's good for goals, like don't get me wrong, but he's also good for making a mental mistake 2 yards from the goal and mishitting it. And he's also good for some dumb red cards.
That's the thing. He's so good for a lot of dumb red cards, and you can't have that out of your striker. That's the guy who cannot be committing dumb red cards. Like, you're supposed to just fucking sit up there and play offense. You are not supposed to be getting red cards. So yeah, no, that it's alarming, his attitude with the red cards for sure. I do think at the very least it gives us another striking option if João Pedro can't play, or
Gets
whoever
hurt or
doesn't play.
something.
Right.
Yeah.
Because Liam Delap is horseshit. Is he gone yet? He's gone, right?
I don't know. And
I
then I
don't I
also
think he's still on the squad, but he'll be gone. He'll be on Ipswich in like 3 weeks.
yeah, then
He'll be right back on fucking
I
it.
also do think about it, like you said, if Palmer gets hurt, you can put Joe Pedro in the 10 and then leave Nicholas Jackson up top. Then you have Estevao and probably as of right now it's Pedro Neto still at the
Dude, if
the other
Yao
set.
Pedro, if Cole Palmer gets hurt again, I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself. I think it's time to like get rid of him.
Let's
Can't
see.
take another Cole Palmer injury. Can't take it. But Jay, anything
Oh,
else that you want to touch on with this episode of the Blues Corner?
now, supposedly Chelsea currently have 9 strikers on the books ahead of next season, by the way.
That's fantastic.
I just opened up something. 9 strikers, and I can probably name you
104,
Joe
Nico,
Pedro, Nicholas
Pedro,
Jackson,
Mark,
Emmanuel
and
Omega,
Liam.
Liam Delap, David Fofana, Mark Gui, Shumarty Mukuka. I have no idea how to say that. Dastin Satpemth and David Washington.
Hmm. Dave
I c-
Washington.
he's Brazilian.
Never heard of that fella.
No, I haven't heard of half of these, but
Not a once. Not a once. But Jay, it looks like we've reached the end of another episode of the Beyond the Ball podcast. Anything that you want to leave our listeners with?
no, listeners, enjoy the two great semifinal matchups we have this week. And then we will see you guys again Thursday. We got probably one of our last World Cup episodes, I would say, Ian, besides breaking down the final.
Yeah.
But we should have an interesting episode for you guys Thursday. A little bit of different kind of things going on.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll do probably two more episodes. We'll be talking about the semifinal matches on Thursday, and then we will have the final and the third place match to discuss next week on Monday before we can really get into the domestic leagues because we'll roll right into it. Our fantasy draft is the 16th, only a month out from Premier League fantasy
Yeah.
draft, and then the league starts shortly thereafter. So listeners, we got a lot coming up for you. Make sure to stay in the loop, subscribe, download, 5-star, like us on Instagram, TikTok, everything pretty much but Twitter. And you can find all of those links in the bio of the episode. And from all of us over here at the Beyond the Ball podcast, until next time.